Hello, welcome back. I'm about to do another evolution party. Gonna use a lucky egg and start evolving quite a few Pokemon. I'm going to the highlights here. It's CP. Let's go to by name here. First one we're gonna be doing is Bellsprout here. It's got 88.9 IV, so hopefully it'll get some decent attacks when it evolves, so that way it'll still be worth it. My Caterpie here at 247 is 91.1 IV. I have the 93 to 91 because I wasn't sure, and I used a different calculator and it said it was 91.1. So I'll be evolving him to Butterfree. I already have a Butterfree that's I believe 93% IV. So, and let's see, I'm gonna do a couple of Doduos. They're not important. They have very low IV. Then I have some EVs. The 144 here is at 95.6 IV, and the 235 is at 80%, and the 201 is at 75.6. So the 95 is pretty good. Hopefully it'll be a Vaporeon, but I'm not going to rename them just to try for it because I've already done that once. Got the 3 Ekans I'm going to do. No big deal there. The Geodudes, I'm going to do 3 of those. Let's see, go down here. There we go. I'm going to be doing some Growlithe. And my 294 here is 88.9 IV. So even though he's low CP, I'm just gonna do it anyway. And if I feel like trading him or powering him up later on, that's all right. My Kabuto here is 84.4 IV, so I'm gonna evolve him. And as you see, his CP is it's almost up there. It's gonna take quite a few dust to get him up. I'm going to be doing some Paris. Nothing great there, really. There we go. Where are we at? The 502 here is 82.2, but it's a Paris, so unless it has a solar beam, then I'm going to be doing Pidgeys, and again, all the Pidgeys are low IV, so not even worth going into. I'm gonna also be doing my Pikachu into a Raichu, and Pikachu is only at 60% IV, but I just wanted the EXP for getting the Raichu, and I'll just get some more and do another evolution when I get a very good IV on him, and hopefully decent attack. He's got Thunder and Quick Attack, so hopefully those will transfer over when he becomes a Raichu. Gonna do a couple of Ponytails. This one is 88.9 IV. The other one's lower, but again, I'm just doing it because I got the candy and they got decent CP. Be doing a lot of Rattatas here. Again, nothing special. My replica here, the Bulbasaur named Replica, I'm hoping to evolve later. It's got a high IV, but not doing that now. So, and I just named it that, and hopefully it'll transform into a Ditto, but never know. Gonna do some Sandshrews, and again, nothing special there. I'm gonna do one Spearow, and it's at 80% IV. Again, used a couple of things, and one of them said it was 80, so, and it seems more spot on than the other calculators. So, and what else here? And I believe the Staryu is 95, but I don't have enough to get to Starmie yet. Got to get quite a few more here. I'm going to be doing the Tentacool, and both of my Tentacools are, I think, 84.4. So I'll be doing the 492, or yeah, I'm going to do 492. I think the other one actually might be lower, or it might be the same. I don't know. But it's only one upgrade, so it doesn't matter. Got the Vaporeons. Okay, I'm going to be doing the Venonats also. I'm going to do 4 of them. But the 569 here is 86.7 IV. So, I mean, that's basically been the one to watch. The other one's at. I'm going to be doing a couple of Weedles too. The 241 here is 84.4 IV. Bring it up here. Again, nothing that great, but... And the Zubat here, it's only at 73.3 IV, but again, I got the candy, so I'm just going to do it. I don't really catch Zubat that often just because they're harder to do, to catch, and it's not really worth the time and effort for them. Generally, they're far back, like the harder Pokemon now, like the Ponyta, Rapidash. Just all of them that are moved way back, and you got to throw it really far. So, all right, that's basically my rundown of what I'm going to be evolving here. So let's see if I go out, come back in. So again, I'm going to be going through them really quick as I evolve them, because I'm going to try to get as many done as I can. So here we go. Oh, something's popped. Let's see what we got. Oh, a Caterpie. Bonus Caterpie catch. Alright, all rads are up. Generally, I wouldn't on a low Pokemon like this, but anymore, man. They'll run after 1 or 2 if you don't catch him right away. And there he goes. Gone. Just like that. That's the new system for you. So anyway, back to the lucky egg. Oops. Pokemon. Alright. Lucky egg, lucky egg. And going straight into the Pokemon here. Come on, I said yes. And that was the reason why I did the I didn't see what his things were, but that's alright. 247, there we go. And it didn't really matter what his attacks were, because they may change again when he evolves. The Bellsprout, I mean. So we'll evolve him again right now. And this was a 91.1 Butterfree, so. Bug Buzz, okay. I don't think that's that great, but I'm not sure yet. Okay, gonna do a couple of Doduos here. release. Horrible, horrible. Hair cutter, horrible. Okay, going down to the EVs. Alright, here we go. 144. Hoping for a Vaporeon. We'll see here. We'll take whatever. I mean, it don't matter. But he is the 95, so. Oh, and it's a Jolteon. I got jolted. Huh. Jolted. Thundershock and Thunderbolt. I think that was horrible. And of course, this one's a Vaporeon. The one that I was just doing because it was there. Yeah, it's only water pulse, so that's alright. 235. Hopefully at some point in the future they'll let us change the attacks like you could in some of the other ones. You know, you could exchange some of their attacks. So 2 Jolteons, huh? Alright, what else we got? Okay, we're going to do the Ekans. And of course, like I say, the Ekans are just here because they're EXP. The next one I'm doing is 84.4 IV, but like I say, it's not that great for... And, you know, even with the IVs being high, it's more important what their attacks are rather than their IV, because even if you have a lot of hit points, it won't matter. If you don't have very good attacks, you'll still lose out, you know, if your DPS is too low. So, you know, there's a lot of things to consider when you're evolving your Pokemon. Oh, it's 15. Okay, I guess I'm doing too. Alright, so going down to Growly here. Growly. Okay, dudes. 560, okay. So I'm going to take him all the way to a Golem. He's at 84.4, so he should be my second strongest Golem. I think I have a 90 something already, so maybe 91. So we'll see what he ended up with attacks and with Ancient Power Mudshot. So we're gonna follow the next one. And then I'm also going to evolve the 388, and it's an 82.2 IV, just because, again. 388, there we go. I could have gotten rid of my, transferred my 2 other Geodudes and one of my other Gravelers, but I don't know if it'll be worthwhile to evolving into another Golem. I've already got a few. But I'll probably start paring them down here as I get more and more. Alright, so going down to Growlithe. Best one is 294 here, so I'll go ahead and do that one first. And like I said, it's an 88.9 IV. And Fire Blast. So I'm just going to do this one because it, it has a high CP, so it should translate to a higher CP when he evolves. Flamethrower and Bite, yeah. 74 is not what I wanted to do. 73. And I'm also going to be doing my 360 CP Growlithe. Bulldoze. I kind of like Bulldoze. Seems to work very well for water Pokemon. It charges fast. It's kind of like the Vaporeon with the, I believe it's Aqua Blast. You get the little charges there, and you just pop them as soon as they do it. Increase your DPS a little bit from your water gun. Again, Flamethrower. Okay. Next, we're going to be doing the Kabuto. And it was 84.4. And this will be a new Pokemon in my Pokedex, so I'll be getting the bonus. Water Pulse, huh? Alright. I believe that's the attack for the, Vaporeon. Alright, 502 is 82.2 IV. So that's the only Paris of note. All the rest are just going to be for EXP, so. Like I say, hopefully he'll have Solar Beam. And he's got Cross Poison. Oh, poor guy. He's probably facing retirement. So next I'll be doing my Pidgeys after I get through these Parises. 3 more Parises to go. And again, this is just because Paris is almost as common as Rattata, Pidgey, and the Geodudes. so you can pick up on them pretty quick, even if they are harder to catch now with the new system, with them disappearing after a couple shots a lot of times. And of course this one gets Solar Beam. Don't you know it? And of course another Solar Beam. Man, I see how it is now. And that's kind of the thing I've seen with the evolving. If you got the good IV, you get cruddy fighting traits, and it's kind of rare to get both. So, and like I say, you know, getting great IV isn't as important as the attacks. I mean, like I say, it just gives you more hit points and whatnot. And like I say, a lower level one will tear right through you if they got good attacks. So, the most important thing is your attacks. It's nice to pair it, but if you can't pair it, then you know, go for the attacks. You know, especially the way the battle system's set up right now, you can dodge the huge attacks. So, you know, having more hit points doesn't really mean that much except on defense, where you're not doing the dodging. And like I say, this is going to be a little painful here. This is the Pidgey session right now. Going to be doing all the Pidgeys I have, so if you want to fast forward a bit, after Pidgeys I'll be doing the Pikachu and the Ponyta. But like I say, I have about 15 more Pidgeys to go here. And for Pidgeys, when you evolve into Pidgeot, a lot of them aren't that great for putting in gems. I've seen a lot of people doing it lately. You know, and people are talking about using the Pidgeys as a way to take down gems. You know, just stacking your attack with 6 different Pidgeys, and you know, just wasting all your Pidgeys and then transferring them at the end when they have used up all their life, so that way you don't have to heal them or anything. But I don't know, I find that kind of cheap. But yeah, when you got 40 Pidgeys, you know, you can do quite a bit of damage to a gem without having to heal them up. So you can knock down a high level gem with them. And like I say, I don't recommend you using Stardust to level up Pidgeys for that. Just catch them, use them, and you know, transfer them away if that's what you're going to do. But of course, I myself was using revives earlier tonight for potions, because I couldn't get a potion to save my Pokemon today. But revives are totally plentiful, so I just keep battling with my Vaporeons until they get knocked out, and then just revive them, you know, and get almost half life, and use that as a potion. You know, because even a Half-Life Vaporeon, I was able to, you know, to knock out 2 or 3 Pokemon in a gym easy, so if not more. Generally around 3. And if you skipped ahead, I'm still doing Pidgeys. You're gonna have to skip ahead a little more. And again, with all these evolutions, you should be getting over 1,000 EXP a minute. So, this is the best way to, get your EXP. People talk about using it for gym battles and for the Pokestops and stuff, but you're just not going to get enough in the same amount of time. Unless all these Pokestops are right by you, you're not going to be able to keep racking up all these. So yeah, I'm going to increase my Pokédex by the 4 with the Bellsprout, the Kabuto, the Pikachu, and the Tentacool. So that's always nice. So I should be up to like 213 Pokemon now. Still waiting for my Snorlax from a 10K. I'm like 3 Charmanders away from getting my Charizard, so looking forward to that. And Bulbasaur, I think, is around 5. I need 5 more. Pidgeys for days. So many Pidgeys, so little time. I think I'm just going to do 2 more Pidgeys and move on to the others and come back to the Pidgeys if I have time. I don't know about you all, but I'm getting tired of Pidgeys. So this will be my last Pidgey for right now. Then I'll move on to the Pikachu, Ponyta, Rattata, Sandshrew, Spearow, Tentacool. You know, the Venonat, the Weedle, and Zubat. Then I'll go back to Pidgey. So another 8 different Pokemon there. So all right, there's some Pikachu. Evolving him. And this was a 60% IV Pikachu, so. But now he's a Raichu. Let's see what he ended up with attack values. Thunder, very good. Thunder Shock and Thunder. Nice. Alright. Ponytas. This is the lower IV one. Higher CP, lower IV. And like I say, I've already got a few. Oh, Heat Wave. That's not too bad. Already have a few Rapidash, as you see down there. So just add to the herd here. And again, it's important to capture every Pokemon you come across if you can. Fire Blast, low kick, nice. Because you're going to need their candies anyway, so you might as well do it. As you see, I've got almost 1,000 candies for Rattata. Oh man! But again, you get Stardust with it too, so you might as well do it and use them for the evolutions. And most Raticates get the Hyper Beam, which is a good attack anyway, so that one got digged, but you'll see, most of them will end up probably with a Hyper Beam. That's the way it was when I was catching them, evolving them before, so. They don't have much in the way of hit points, but they make up for it with their attacks. Yeah, there's another Hyper Beam right there. So I should have 6 more Rattatas to do, 6 Sandshrews, then my Spearow, Tentacool. Hyper Fang. Oops. Just getting up the wrong one here. I may have to take an army of Ratatas with the Hyper Beam. See if I can't demolish a few gyms with them. And as you're seeing here, Hyper Beam is the most common attack when you get Eradicate. Over half of the Pokemon have evolved so far here. Rattatas are getting the Hyper Beam. Nice Hyper Fang. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this one. I wasn't planning on it, but there's 8 more that I have to get to replace it. 7, so. It is 93.3 IV. So I'll probably have to rename it if it doesn't become a Ditto, which of course it's not going to. It was a long shot. Again, that's just going off of the EVs. Let's see here. There you go, Razor Leaf, Power Whip. That's not too bad. Alright, going to Sandshrews. And like I say, I have 510 Sandshrew candies. I'm not trying to catch all the Sandshrews I see. Like I say, they're almost as common as Pidgeys and Rattatas here, so. Yeah, and none of them are worth note, I guess, for IV wise. So, just gonna take them as they come here. So, like I say, after this is gonna be my Spearow. That's 80% IV. And the Tentacool, which is 82.2. Then the Venonats, Weedle, and Zubat. And then more Pidgeys. Always more Pidgeys. Earthquake, there we go. So yeah, you may also want to consider, when you're checking your IVs, check the attacks for your Pokemon and see what the best DPS is for each, individual Pokemon. Because that plays a huge factor in, the gym battles anyway, more than the IV. So, just be aware that even though you may not have a high IV, your Pokemon will still be very useful for that kind of stuff. Really, the IV is for defense mostly. Just because you're not going to get the dodges in the gym as you would when you're battling. There's always the thing where, even a 10 CP Pokemon can, beat a very high level Pokemon, with the dodges. As long as you're able to dodge all the attacks coming in. Oh, come on. It's freezing up on me. Then you'll, you can play the system that way, so. So if you want to use all your low-level Pokemon to hone your battle skills in the gyms, that's one way to do it. Get that timing down. Alright, so that would be all of our Sandshoes. Here's my Spearow, my 368. Like say the 80 to 75 was one the IV calculators, and another one said it was 80%, so. Aerial Ace, horrible. Alright, so we're going for the Tentacool. We're going to go for the 92. And this will be a new Pokemon from my Pokedex. Blizzard, nice. Alright, so moving on down to the Venonats. I'm going to evolve them all, I believe. Nope, I can only evolve 4. So I'm hoping this was the 569, if not, Venonats are pretty common here, but I just haven't bothered catching them all lately, And when I do, I transfer them if they're low IV, so. Poison Fang. There's the 569. This is 86.7 IV. So it's got a decent IV, Really, the cutoff should be about 90%, if you're really going for IV. So 90% and higher should be what you're looking for. And Poison Fang and Bug Bite. Wow. Okay, 473 is 84.4. There we go, Bug Buzz Confusion. And I think this is going to be the last one here. Then for my Weedles, my 241 is 84.4 IV. Been getting a lot of Weevils from the eggs lately, and that's why I have candy for it more than anything else. They are kind of common here, about as common as the Caterpie. But the problem is, they're not that common. This is 241 here. Yeah. Let's see, do I have the candy to take them to Beedrill form? And I do, I will. Could have done the other one, but I'm only going to get one more evolve anyway out of it. Might as well. So you're only going to get the one Weedle, but you'll get to see the Beedrill also. I was going to save up the candies for a higher level IV, but like I say, without the attacks anyway. And there we go, Poison Jab and X-Scissor. And we're not going to be able to do the other Weedles, so let's go to Zubat. And like I say, he's only a 73.3 IV. Not that I use Zubat or Golbat to battle in gyms or anything, so you know, usually the only ones I'm throwing in gyms are the Dragonite, the Golems, the Executor. Going back to the Pidgeys real quick. You know, of course, the Vaporeons. Just the really high level Pokemon. So I'll probably do another 5 Pidgeys and then call it. Should be out of time. I may already be out of time, I don't know. But like I said, I'm going to try to ensure that I get as much of the bonus EXP as I can here. And like I say, when I catch another 50 Pidgeys, or you know, even 20, you know, the Rattatas and everything else, I'll be ready for another egg anyway. So yeah, I got tons of candy there, as you see. And you know, that's the thing you got to be prepared for too, is when the next, maybe not the next update, maybe a few updates away, but when they include the next generation of Pokemon, you'll want to have a lot of candy saved up for everything, so that way you can evolve into the new forms. I think that's going to be pretty important to do, so save up your Stardust and your candies as much as you can. You know, because right now, you know, it's not really that important to get past level 31, since your Pokemon can only get to level 30, 30.5, you know, and be top tier at the moment until they increase the level of the Pokemon. So after 30, you know, you're just leveling yourself up, you know, trying to catch everything else. You don't need to stress trying to get to level 40 right away. You'll have plenty of time, I'm sure. You know, a lot of the Pokemon calculators are going to level 40 right now, but the Pokemon can't get that high yet. So, but you never know, it might change soon, so. Alright. One more Pidgey and we'll see where we're at time-wise. I'm sure we're over time. Besides, we only have one more Pidgey to go. That's it. I'll make you suffer through that one last Pidgey. You know, wasting candy on Pidgeys that aren't getting the bonus EXP isn't that big a deal, since, like I say, Pidgeys are so common. So. Last Pidgey's evolved, so let's go see how we did EXP wise. I got potions finally, woo! And there we go, 73, 500. Of course, I don't know how long ago my thing expired, but there you go, 73,000 EXP for that horrendous amount of time. I'm sure you're thinking. So again, we'll go back in and review the good Pokemon here. My Bellsprout that became the Weeping Bell is at the end, of course. So the Caterpie was the Butterfree. I believe it was this one, yeah, 93 to. So like I say, Bug Bite and Buzz on, or Bug Bite and Buzz. This one had Signal Beam and Confusion. So 1545 versus 5 and 75. So I mean, that's one of the things you got to look at is what's your primary attack at, because it's very important, because your fast attack is what you're going to be using probably 90% of the time anyway. So, and both of my Charmanders are from eggs, I believe. These two, and they're both 84.4 IV. So, and my poor Charmeleon here is at 80 IV, and I believe he was just evolved. Yeah, I think I caught him and evolved him. So, I think my Executor here is 95 IV. I'm not sure. Let's see here, what else we got going here. We did the Kabuto, which is now Kabuto Tops, the Golem. There we go. Again, Fury Cutter and Water Pulse. That seems like low attacks to me, so I'll have to go check it out, but I'm thinking he may face a scrap pile. Unless I can get different attacks from him later on. But I don't know about keeping him around that. And Ponytails to Pikachu, which is now Raichu and Rapidashes. Let's go down here. Past the flock, there we go. There's the Raichu. Like I said, Thunder and Thunder Shock, so you can calculate but it was 60% IV. So, and I'm not sure what it turned out to. I think it might have been this one. My Ponyta that was 88.9 IV. So I think this was my old Rapidash, one of them. And then the little army of Raticates now. Oh, there's my Bulbasaur again. So I'm going to change the name back to, I'll just change it to Ivysaur here. Oops. Getting Razor Leaf and Power Whip, so the Sand Slashes. The Magic Carps are actually like 84 and 90 or something. They're pretty decent. There's the Tentacool and the Tentacruel. Again, that was got Blizzard, decent. Poison Jab, I think that's going to be a good combo. Got to check it out, see what the actual DPS is. And there's my Bellsprout that went to the Weaving Bell. And again, I mean, these attacks don't matter right now. It's when I evolve them, to the Victory Bell that it depends. That's what's important. So it could be decent attacks now, but as soon as you evolve them, your attacks could devolve. So, well, thank you for watching, and I will catch you down the road.